Greetings my friends, and welcome to a brand new campaign summary, and this time for the United States campaign. Now, when we ended the last episode of the United States campaign, we were attacking this Mughal force. I've just retreated just so I can bring you this summary here for this particular campaign, but when we come back to the campaign proper, we will be attacking this Persian force, because as you can see here, they have put together quite a force here that really have been harassing us and haranguing us as well in the Middle East, and then to the point where we've had to actually pull a number of our forces from different theatres of operations to actually quell and quash this highly aggressive manoeuvre by the Persians. As you can see here, they are pulling a number of forces across the Syrian desert to attack directly for Damascus. Now, fortunately, we've put a number of armies in position, pretty much because we were fighting along the coast road here in Damascus. But as you can see here, where they've sent them across, because we've cut off the coast road from the normal route you would take, which would be all the way around through Baghdad and around the coast round here and down the coast road. They've actually travelled across the Syrian desert to attack us instead. Now, we did lose Baghdad. We weren't able to hold on to it, so that was one of our first defeats in a long time. Now, of course, we do have this army dug in here in Armenia. As you can see, we're also putting walls, settlement fortifications, or improving settlement fortifications around here to give us that extra depth here, because we're also going to try and hold here, draw in these forces here, which we should be able to be honest with you, my friends, especially what we've got here. But we mustn't underestimate what we're up against here, because they do have a formidable force here, even though we are sort of outgunning them quite considerably. But they just keep on moving. Look at that. I mean, that force there alone is huge. So we've had to move a considerable number of our assets and our military assets away from other theatres of operations, which has hindered our possible progression in other theatres. But we've just got to put this war to an end here with the Persians. We will be moving all the way and taking everything here from the Persians, including Esfahan, right up to the border here with the Afghanistan, who we are at war with, probably all the way up to the Mughal Empire, which are also at war with. So we're going to put ourselves on another footing here. So effectively, these forces might be left in the Middle East indefinitely, because once we move from one enemy, we're going to be bumping into two others. And the Mughal Empire, as you can see here, is a formidable foe. It really has been left alone for a long time to build up some forces. Even though some of these got tattered flags here, I would imagine, I can't understand, they might be losing money here. I'd imagine the income here would be exceptional from these, unless of course they have been squeezed elsewhere. That could be. We've also got ourselves our footprint here on Ceylon here, which is our main military base operating for the purpose. The council purposely requested we take Ceylon for future operations against the subcontinent here into Mughal. Now that might come around sooner rather than we planned. We did plan to launch a separate operation against the Mughal Empire, against India itself, because it's such a vast campaign. It will probably require a significant portion of our military might to actually take the Mughal Empire. As you can see, we've got our hands full just fighting the Persians, and they are a formidable foe. So let's not be under any illusions. It's not going to be an easy campaign here at all. We've also got Anatolia here fully under our control, with an eye on the Ottoman Empire. Now, if we could, ideally, I'd really like to take Istanbul from the Ottomans, but as you can see, that would itself be a considerable task, which would require us probably pulling even more. I don't think these armies would be enough to quell this. They just have a humongous amount of forces, even though they've got a lot of tattered flags here, which means not all the forces are at full strength. It still would be a fight, probably one of the toughest fights we've had for a long time. Now, of course, we've got the Prussians here. We've pushed them back into the Balkans. They're effectively being squashed into the Balkans here. Also, they've got Minsk here, which they still hold, and a number of other territories which were previously Russian held. So into the Urals, as it were. But of course, we are now at peace with Russia after the absolute blitzkrieg here that went on in St. Petersburg, pushing all of these Russian forces out. But of course, the Russians aren't done by any capacity yet. They've got still a huge amount of forces here, just on the outskirts here, on the sort of the south of St. Petersburg, and here to the east, where we push them back. We've had to move in several of these armies into position to sort of make sure they don't push against us, moving the army group that was here. We've also surrounded St. Petersburg with these forces here, which we do have to bring up to full scratch. In fact, most of these are already at full capacity. If I'm not mistaken, the Marine Corps again was called in to deal with that. Took St. Petersburg straight off the march, so it was a wonder to see. We have, of course, got the Russians here with their fleet here, but this fleet, the Russian fleet, wouldn't really pose any problems. We effectively control the Baltic anyway. Moving further westwards here. Now, this is really where it gets really interesting here. The next powerhouse here, the next monster, the Titan, is Spain. Now, as you can see, Spain is an absolute behemoth. It really is. It is probably our greatest foe. Now, those of you who were at the start of this campaign will realise that Spain came for us at the start of this campaign. They attacked us at the homeland in the US. We defeated them when we were just starting out. So if they'd have won, there's a chance that this might have been where we are today. But we defeated them. We pushed them back. We actually pushed them back to one. They only had Spain. They only had Spain left. Nothing else left. Now, many of the council at the time said, Mala, you need to finish Spain off, otherwise they're going to be a thorn in your side in the future. Now, I'll hold my hands up and I said, I did not take that advice. Now, the consequence of me not taking that advice with Spain is what you see now. Spain controls the Gibraltar Straits, which is a key access point in and out of the Mediterranean into the Atlantic. They control Portugal, which means they control this eastern seaboard here of the Atlantic. They also have Paris, Amsterdam, two massive powerhouses. Particularly Paris is probably one of the, if not the single powerhouse, even probably rivaling and superseding London in terms of economical and production facilities. They've even got Amsterdam here, which is a key port for them, a massive port, as you can see. Spain is still getting a good amount of money coming in just from this trade route alone. Now, that's not to say that we've had to move a significant proportion of remaining forces, even siphoning forces away from this Hungarian front here, to move eastwards and also to move into the west here to make sure we are ready. Now, we had a wonderful suggestion from the council that we actually build forts all along, so if Spain does launch into us, they will effectively biting into the sort of the defensive teeth of this defensive line here. We've also been clearing up different parts of enemy forces that have been loitering with intent particularly around Vilnius, particularly around Warsaw. What you can see here are the forces we had to put in position to guard against anything coming our way from Galicia. Now, France is at peace with us, but they don't like us that much. Also, as you can see, we've still got a number of German forces loitering around here, particularly in Minsk. Russia is nowhere near defeated. We've actually got peace with Russia, and even then, look at the forces they've managed to gather around Moscow. So again, battering our way into Moscow. Look at that, 264 pounders, monstrous. So as you can see, we still have not, even though we captured St. Petersburg, the sort of the anchor, the pivot upon which the northern stratosphere of Russian influence was really hinged. We've taken it now. It's under our control, but again, look at the amount of assets we've had to contribute to holding it. A huge portion here, massive amount, including the absolute creme de la creme of our fighting forces, the Marine Corps, which we've called upon to absolutely batter everything. Every time we had a difficult mission, we've called upon the Marine Corps to sort of succeed. Look at that, down to 31 men here, down to 16 men here. In this Marine Corps, in the Marine Division here, absolutely huge losses. That is testament to the battle that took place to take St. Petersburg, and all of the forces you see here were involved. So that was the magnitude of the fighting. Now, Courland has remained at peace, but again, they are a formidable force, even though they're only a single region. Look what they're able to put together here. They've kept themselves out of anything. Look at that, nice. 12. We've got a good agreement with them here. 12,748 here. Courland is getting 25,000 gold per year in from this one trade route here. Now, of course, you may say, well, Mala, the way to suffocate them is to simply blockade this. We would do. But what damage would they do with these armies if they were blockaded? They would still be able to roam around. What forces do we have here to commit to move against them. As you can see, this army here needs replenishment, so we will have to remember to do that. And again, we've had to commit these forces here, guarding against any French or indeed any German incursions into here. Warsaw had to be protected. It was the pivot, the focal point of many of our eastern campaigns. We took Vilnius after another fight again. The Marine Corps battering its way into the city. House to house fighting, my friends. House to house fighting. That was how brutal the fighting was. Of course, we do have control Sweden. We've got Copenhagen. We've got Britain. Now, Britain have been an erstwhile ally. Don't get me wrong, they've been an excellent ally, but they have not contributed in any way to any of the wars that you see going on here. Everything we've taken here in Central, Western and Eastern Europe is by our own hard work and the sacrifices of tens of thousands of men and millions of gold pieces. I kid you not, millions of gold coins have been spent on where you see us now, as you can see. But look at the sheer magnitude here of the Spanish might in northern Italy. How do you break into this? I mean, look at that. The battle here would probably annihilate a good portion of our whatever armies we send into northern Italy aren't going to be coming back. Now that's just the brutal truth. We have to realise the sheer magnitude of the forces that the Spanish have been able to array against us here. Look at that. Just for example, just 2 Spanish marine regiments here. Some of the finest regiments you'll see. Look at the forces they've got arrayed against us. Even if Genoa were to move against us as well at the same time as Spain, how would you break this down? You imagine the battle it would take here to just unlock just these 2 regions here. And goodness knows what's in Savoy and Turin here. Probably another equally a massive amount of Spanish forces. So taking northern Spain, it would require probably the fall of Venice to give you access to it, but also a massive naval invasion. A massive naval invasion would be the minimal here that you would require. Now France is attacking Spain here. So let me just quickly check here. Spain, now they're hostile with us, but they are open for trade. Yeah, they're at war with France. So France has hit here, Marseille, which is probably a huge port for them. We've also effectively got control of the trade line here. We've put a fleet here, as you can see. That's a monstrous fleet. It really is a huge fleet. Look at the income here, 24,000. We've cut off a number of Greece, Great Britain. A lot of them haven't got any trade coming in at all. And luckily, we've kept ours open here. But even then, the Spanish have got a significant fleet even here. Santissima, Trinidad. Look at that, heavy first rate. Good grief, that's a monster. We've got these here. This fleet here we've put in with steamships. But you know, breaking. It's not just here. Look at down here. Look at northern Italy. We're at war with Naples. Luckily, we've managed to seal off Naples completely, so they haven't been able to use any of their ports. Otherwise, we'd have had unleashed all of these forces upon us. We're at peace with the Italian states for now, but again, look at the magnitude of the fighting that's going to take place around Rome if we want to take Rome. Huge. Even just trying to deal with whatever is left, which we don't have any intelligence at all of what's left in here in the Balkans. For all we know, they may have completely rearmed the Russians, the Germans even. So again, my friends, we've got a massive amount to do. Back in the homeland here, as you can see, we've fully controlled it. Of course, Britain here does have a number of troops on our land here. They are our allies. They are strong allies of ours. Let's just make, yes, very friendly. Look at that, plus 113. That's absolutely fine. But one day, we may have to deal with the British if we want a complete domination, which we do want. Look at that, France are hostile, minus 155 at one point. The only reason that France is still alive is because we gave them the land to live. They had nothing. They had Paris was lost, all their lands were lost. We gave them the land, and now they're hostile with us. Absolutely unbelievable. Mughal Empire, of course, has been at war with them for a long, long time. Ottomans are unfriendly with us, but concerning, but not too concerning. And of course, the rest, as you can see here, everybody else doesn't like us at all. But that's what comes when you just take almost most of Europe. Effectively, we control a good portion of the world let's be honest here. We control all of North and South America. We don't have the Cherokee up here is Sweden. Now, that's why Sweden is still alive. It's because they've got Agvituk. Britain, of course, controls Canada. We control everything else you see there. Of course, they do have the Bahamas, and they also have Hispaniola and Leeward Islands. We control all the others, apart from here, which that's why Poland has been able to bring in all the money. There it is. And also down here is France with Dutch Guyana. So again, we don't control everything just yet, but we could do. We also have the facilities to be able to put armies into place should we need them. And we've got armies here which we're trying to put together here, which we've completely forgotten about because of what was going to be going on in Europe. As you can see, a huge amount of our military strength is eastwards and the westwards, with a limited force here along the Hungarian border. But my friends, that's pretty much where we stand now. We are at war with Venice, who have been going through the Alps to harass Munich. That's why we've got these forces in place here around the Bavaria. As you can see, they're harassing us here. This iron minefield here as well. But one day we'll have to send a force in to deal with Venice. But again, that will require a hefty amount of troops, which we don't have at the moment, unless we strip out these forces, which many of the councils said, man, I don't have these forces just sat here in these cities, move them out. So these three armies will be moving out eventually, probably moving down to Munich so we can deal with Venice, and also we'll start moving some of these away from Königsberg, and also probably these away from the border here. Mind you, France doesn't like us at all, so we've got to watch that really, really carefully there. We can't move into Kiev because, of course, they are protected by the Germans, and of course they have this all over here as well. But look at that, look at this coming in there. That used to be coming in from here, but that's a lot of money coming in there. They got 7,000. Look at the regional wealth, 18,000 regional wealth, extraordinary. But again, that's been cut off here. Looks like, and we've also got a sizable fleet in the Black Sea here, and we're also guarding along here. So that, my friends, is where we stand at the moment. We've got a lot to do. Our primary aim is going to be the Persians here. That's where our main goal is going to be. We need to clear the Persians out. We're going to move all the way up here to the border of Afghanistan, or at least take Esfahan. That's what we're going to do. We won't move to the border. We'll just leave things as they are then. Maybe go into Bandar Abbas here and into Basra as well. Take these ports, maybe try and open them up if we can. But what it'll do is it'll put us in direct confrontation here with the Afghanistan and also the Mughal Empire, which it's going to be a real fight. And how Naples and Sicily got this up here, got Kashmir, I have no idea. But that's something for us to worry about later on down the line. Also, France has the Don here, which we did have a tremendous fight against the Germans with. Tremendous fight. We had to give it up in the end because we weren't able to ship enough units and reinforcements into the area. But that, my friends, is where we are at the moment. Any advice, any comments, of course, please let me know, of course. But the campaign proper is coming up next. It will begin with a battle all the way down here in for Aleppo, where we're going to be fighting in here, my friends. I'm trying to remove this force here, and then we're going to move ourselves into Baghdad and try and take Baghdad, whilst the forces in Damascus here will deal with whatever comes our way. But my friends, as always, I shall see you next in the campaign proper. Until then, my friends, bye for now. Greetings and welcome to episode 159 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod USA campaign. This, my friends, is how we left it last time. As you can see, we are up against a huge Persian force here. But, my friends, it is a battle that we have instigated ourselves. The Persians have decided to launch a massive assault against our resources and our cities in the Middle East. We have had to embark on quite the push here, my friends, to bring what we have available here to the fore. Now, we've had to move these military resources from other theatres, from Europe, from the homeland, from the Middle East itself. We really had to put this together because the Persians have started to become quite a threat to us, a major threat to us. That includes moving against Syria, moving against Jerusalem. They've even captured Baghdad, our first defeat in a very, very long time. So as you can imagine, we cannot allow them to go unchallenged. We have to put this down. We have to stamp this war down hard here. And that's why we've brought in a sizable force here. Not all we have here. We've had to bring these gentlemen in here to deal quite harshly here, very harshly indeed, with the Persians here. They do have an exemplary force here themselves. They've also got quite a lot of backup here, but the guns are going to prove formidable. They do have exemplary cannon workmanship and expert marksmanship with the cannons as well. So although we are, shall we say, better equipped in terms of our armies and also our guns here, we can't become complacent. We mustn't become complacent. As you can see here, we're still bringing in a good swathe here of reinforcements. We're hoping that this army here under General ABW can actually do the job here, can actually defeat the Persians as they are. We will of course have to rest and replenish after this battle. We will take casualties of course, but we are going to end this war with the Persians one way or another. Esfahan, which is the capital here of Persia, will be taken one way or another. Now it might not be straight away, and we might have a real battle on our hands here to dig our way into that capital there, because this is by no means all the Persians have. They have a vast army, and they are, as you can see here, the numbers are of course in their favour, but we do have the quality here. Whilst we don't have the numbers, we do have the quality, the depth in quality. The guns are of course a wonder. Now they've got native lancers. Here is the Ardis here. They really are an absolute brute in the charge. Look at that, 25 charge bonus. Ours is only 15. For our cuirassiers, we've got to be exceptionally careful here. These really are the absolute apogee, the pinnacle here of heavy cavalry. They really are exemplary, so we mustn't become complacent. We mustn't dismiss them out of hand. But we take this fight, my friends, immediately here. We are not going to allow the Persians another inch into our territory, although we do have several Persian forces crossing the Syrian desert to come and attack Syria and Jerusalem. But we are prepared, we are ready. We have the forces ready to meet that attack. In the meantime, we're going to hook around, we're going to anchor ourselves on this position here, and then we're going to push down hard against the Persians. We are going to retake Baghdad. That is our next and our first step after this battle, is to retake Baghdad. As you can see here, oh, it's a really, really warm evening, so as you can see here, the haze has not lifted at all. Now, as you can see, the topography here of this battlefield is undulating. As you can see, we've got a hill here, sort of a hill up here, and then we dips down quite dramatically down here. As you can see, we actually control the road. This here is the road. So if we can control the road in and out of the town that they now control, we've got a good chance of cutting off their supplies. This is exactly what I want to do. As you can see, our deployment area is much, much larger than that of the Persians, which means we can squeeze them into a box here, but we've got to be careful. As I said before, we mustn't become complacent. Now, you know, they have that Ardis, the real heavy cavalry, so I think what we'll do in preparation of that is actually put our cavalry together in one large force on the left hand side here, this left flank here, just to be sure that we can deal with that promptly. Now, the cavalry is probably going to take a real battering here, but we've just got to give ourselves and the guns time to do the damage. The guns we have here really are going to be the battering ram here for this. As you can see, we've got a huge swathe of guns available to us here. Let's just move our infantry out of the way here so we can set our guns up properly here. And what we want to do is we really want to hit them hard here. The general, another here. So let's just get ourselves organised here. Now we've got, as you can see here, 4 lots of cannon houses. These really will be the battering ram, as I said, of our defence here, or our attack even. I think we'll set them up here. But a limber. Now where will that allow us? Look at that. Oh, look at that line there that falls in. We should be able to capture a lot of them under the fire, the arc of the fire. But a quick line, just about there, getting some. We should do well out of that there. Now, let's get the rest of the artillery here. The 24 pounders of foot artillery. Okay. And a little bit. Oh, that's perfect, sir. Now, shrapnel shot won't go as far. As you can see here, shrapnel shot will just about skirt this here. So what we'll do, put on round shot to start with, because round shot will take them way past it there. As you can see, that's the maximum range of round shot here. Shrapnel shot, as you can see, much shorter. Here is the side of the final arc here where shrapnel shot will land. What we will do is we'll put them here. Now I know that some of the councils say, Matter, put these 24-pounders. Oh, it might be a pretty good idea to put some of these 24-pounders here within the line of the defence here and use the howitzers as that back. Yeah, we might actually do that because the council is very rarely wrong. I think we'll do that. So what we'll do is we'll just push them to one side. We'll set our defences. We'll put the 24-pound foot artillery in the defensive line here. I think we'll have this regiment here. It's an experienced regiment, as you can see here by the echelons. Now, let's just set ourselves fair here. We'll have this regiment here as well on the right. Actually, we'll just set space for one of the cannons to set itself here. Will that be a big enough gap for one to fit in? I'm not sure it will be. No, it won't. Let's just set this regiment here. Let's do this by the book, by the numbers, sir. Now that's just sat back just enough here for this to overlap it slightly. That should give us the firing arc we need. Now shrapnel shots should have a little bit further reach. It does indeed. It's exactly what we need here. Now we're just going to set the infantry just slightly ahead of it so that if any charge comes in from the front here, at least the infantry will catch the full brunt of it before the artillery. Not quite ahead of it there, not quite. Let's do this absolutely bang on the numbers here. No, gentlemen. What the blazes are you up to? It's more like it. Now, I think we'll set another regiment here on this left flank. Now, they could be hidden if I'm not mistaken. Indeed. And for that, we'll set... I will have this regiment here on the left of it. Okay, not quite. Gentlemen, please put yourselves in good order here if you would. Thank you. I'll just give us a little bit of extra firepower here. And then I think here we'll have the... Perfect. Let's have this regiment here on the right of it. Should provide us good cover. Let's put shrapnel shot. We want to bring in that real power here. We will bring them under one grouping here to give us much better control. But that's a sound defensive system here. Let's put this artillery. Let's centre it if possible. So we've got that added oomph. Now let's put this regiment here. We are going to see reinforcements coming in for the Persians. So what we won't do is we won't send out a small attack force. Although we probably might be able to send out 2 regiments, perhaps, to take the fight to them. Maybe to keep them off balance. We might just send them... That just doesn't sit quite right there. Let's just angle them slightly here. That's more like it. That should be a sturdy enough defence. I will put this one on the right here. And what we'll do, we'll just angle this here. But we don't know where. What we don't know is where the other reinforcements for the Persians are going to come in. We'll just here. What we'll do, we'll keep these two regiments back just in case, because we don't know where these reinforcements are going to be coming in. We've got to be mindful of where they're coming in here. I think we're ready to go here. Yes, indeed we are. Everything is set fair, ready to fire. Yes, indeed. Right, let's take the fight, my friends. Let's do this. Would you look at that? There's the reinforcements, as we suspected. Oh, look at that. It's an absolute... That is an absolute monstrous fight, sir. Oh, there's the yard. The yard is there. Oh, I think what we will do is we'll just pull these gentlemen off. We've definitely got to flank them here. We've got them. As I said, their artillery is going to be an absolute menace. We've already lost howitzers here, my goodness me. That's more like it. Gotta do this line here. Come on, lads, get in there. Got to deal with this artillery. We have to. Told you that, yeah, we've got to get into that artillery. It's going to absolutely evaporate ours. Oh, we've got a huge fight going on here. Oh, they're firing on there. That's a wonder. Oh, that's a beautiful sight, sir. They've had enough. My damn, if they've got dug in there, haven't they? What the blazes is going on there? Wow, this is a tough fight. They've shattered. Get out of it, lads. Get out of there. They've given us a real pounding here, my goodness me. That's more like it. What a fight this has been, goodness me. Here they come. That's more like it. Oh, look at that. We laid it right on the there. Jesus. Get in there, lads. They were too well protected here, way too protected. We deal some damage here though. But I've broken this flank almost from them here. Just keep hitting them hard here. Got to fire. Wow, they just come for us hard here, and oh my goodness me. We're getting buckled here. This flank is buckling hard here, my goodness me. Oh, we've already lost. Wow, we lost one there. Oh no! Wow, they've absolutely just rolled this flank up here. They've got so many. Okay, these are the guns here that have done it for them. These guns up here absolutely blitzed us. Look at that, they've rolled this flank up here hard, my goodness me. Right, reinforcements coming in. Time to set up a new perimeter. Cavalry, here we go. We can now establish a brand new line. Oh, this whole line is just, they've completely flanked us here, my goodness me. We might have underestimated the Persians here. Wow. Got to establish a brand new line here. Time to take the fight to them. Time to take the fight to them. We've got to remove these forces here. These are just about holding on here. Wow, what a fight this has been, my goodness me. They've gone. Managed to hold up this flank here, thankfully. Horse guards. Come on, gentlemen, move! Look how much cavalry we got here coming in. just about managed to stabilize his line here. Bring this under our control now. Where the blazes are they going? Gentlemen, if you would please be... Now we're gonna absolutely destroy them now with mass cavalry. If they want to fight, then we'll oblige. Oh. Now they're going to pay a heavy price. Then we're going to go up here and we're going to absolutely annihilate this up here. They cost us dear, they did, my goodness me. What a fight that was. They're shaken, sir. Look what they're up against. Gentlemen, please. We are up against it here, I kid you not. We're going for these guns here. These guns here have caused us absolute misery. They wouldn't reach. Where are you going, gentlemen? Where are you going? We lost an entire army there. These Persians are giving us an absolute hell here. Pipeline. These guns here, of course, is absolute misery. What a fight. They're gone now, chase them down. Come on. That was a tough fight. I kid you not, my friends. That was a tough fight. What the blazes are you doing? Come on, lads. Ah, those pikemen have come back as I suspected. Come on. Come on. Got a break. Come on, lads, come on. Got them. Shattered. What a fight this has been, my goodness me. Yes. Absolutely gave us a tough fight here, my goodness me. Don't know if I even done it. Wow, that was a tough fight. Lost 2,711, that's a lot, but they lost nearly 5,000. Cuirassiers did the bulk of the work here. 24 foot-pounds, 204, that's not too bad at all. Wow, what a fight that was, my goodness me, that was a tough fight.
Make ready. March.
They've moved there and they've just moved here, so we will replenish here. Let's fix these towns up. And let's replenish this army here. My goodness me, this army took a real beating there. And so did this army here.
Sir.
But thankfully the other armies are still intact.
Your humble servant. Ready
This
for
army
order.
here took a real beating as well. But these two armies still in good intact here. We'll put that into position there as well. And here as well. Get the economy moving at full pelt, but as you can see they're starting to move against here, the outer towns. So Galio and I know that's cars and agri farmland. So they may attack here. I think this army should be a bit, mind you, it's only got a regiment of horse. What have these gentlemen got here? Ah, they've got the Ardis as well. Medieval Lancers, they were incredibly tough, the Persians, to beat then. Really, really tough.
At the ready.
This army's almost at full. Oh my goodness me, no, it's not 21. 21 took a. They're sending another army in here, another full army here. But we should be ready for this battle. Or not.
Yes.
We might send additional forces, I think, up to here. Just to add a little bit more support. And we do have strong defences. They've also got an army here as well. They've really gone for it here pretty hard. We might draw off some forces, I think, from Ankara.
Yes, sir.
Which is not really at full strength by any means. Oh my goodness me. We might use this force here to move down here and flank them. Oh, move against the rear.
Ready and waiting order. Anything more? Ready for order. Your humble servant. Ready for order.
We'll put this army in here to defend.
At the ready.
Look at that. We might even send this army in as well behind. If the Ottomans attack us, we'll just have to manage, but I think we might send this force in as well. And the guns can probably be left behind. We can probably use the cavalry.
Make ready. Ready for order.
Or we might even send this force in, I think, as well, as a reserve force.
March.
We've just restructured the
Waiting for
defences
yours,
here.
sir. March.
So the defences are evenly distributed
Yes.
around here.
Forward. March.
When we move these forces in here, we'll try and clear the port. Attack here. Give them a sound thrashing there and here. But they're moving against here. We've wanted to take Baghdad. We might have to move more. I think we might have to move more forces into the area. Because you can see we can't get line infantry at all. We might have to move additional forces in, I think, into the Middle East, because quite clearly the Persians are not going to be the rollover that we might have considered them to be. They are really, really tough. And especially their cavalry. Their cavalry is exceptional. So we might have to move additional forces in, I think, to the Middle East here, particularly around Aleppo and that here in the Syria, because that's going to be a real fight here, especially these moving in. We've probably got enough here, but even these armies are not at full strength by any means, especially this one here in the port. This army took a real beating. Got plenty of money. So I think what we will have to do, I think, is pull in additional forces. Now I don't know where we're going to be able to free them up from. We're fully committed here on the Russian front. As you can see here, Russia really has been a thorn in our side here. We're moving up here on the border of Moscow here. We've also moved forces in an army group here just to be prepared for whatever comes along the border here in the east. And we have reconstituted the defences around St. Petersburg here. That's still a sizable Russian force here. But we think we have got enough here to deal with this rogue army. That's a real strong army they've got here. And these armies here are pretty powerful. Not all combined, they would be a real tough fight for us.
Yes, sir.
And this army group is full strength, and probably will take, mind you, they still have regiment of horse here, which is not really acceptable, to be honest with you. So once we've got this under fully replenished, I think we're going to retrofit with cuirassiers we've got to be prepared here to defend this border here. We do have a number of ships here as well. I think we might even send some additional ships. Which we have cut off. We can't, unfortunately, we can't get into the. We might even move. I think we might even move additional forces into the Arabian Sea, into the Indian Sea and the Arabian Sea. The Arabian Sea, but in particular because of the Baz report here. But I don't think they're using the Baz report. No, they're not. Or are they? We just can't see. I don't think they are. But this is going to be a much, much tougher fight. This could be a real tough fight here to get Baghdad off them. If that fight was anything to go by, my goodness me, that was a tough fight. We can't do anything here now. We're just trying to, and also we've got a massive investment here along the Spanish border. That fight there's going to be pretty brutal.
At the ready.
We've had to leave these forces here against Venice, but we just don't have the forces available to move against Venice yet. And look at that grouping there. Spanish forces is huge. With the commitments we've got in the east and the west, the Middle East is going to be a really, really tough fight for us. I think we have to move to the homeland here and start bringing the armies we need from the homeland.
Yes, sir.
Right, let's use Philadelphia.
Immediately.
We need now to call on the homeland now to bring in, to make sure we're in good. All of our forces are going to have to come from here now, so we're going to have to really ratchet up. What have we got here in terms of guns? We need. We'll have another cuirassiers, and we'll have some more howitzers now. And Boston, which is really the hub of our. Ooh, definitely have one of the Legion, and we have. Gentlemen, here now we do have the facilities that pretty much produce from the South America as well, which we're going to do here. Some more cuirassiers. We're going to put some armies together here. Four cuirassiers are going to be standard now for armies, and that includes the guns as well. So at least four of each type there. And we should have additional forces to be able to produce here in Caracas. We have the money to put these armies into the theatre very, very quickly indeed. Thankfully we have that ability because of what we've taken here. We don't have all of South America yet. Dutch and French Guyana is under our control, and the Caribbean isn't under our control either. Got Sweden here as well. But again, all of North America is under our control. I'd like to try and get Canada under our control, but that's for another day. I think we've done all we can do at the moment here. We'll just end the turn, my friends, and we'll just see what the Persians do now. I can imagine we've got another battle on the way. But now we're going to try and flank them here. We're going to try and push down the coast road here. On the Mediterranean coast road here, and try and put an end to this port siege here, and also any of these remnants are moving down here. And then hopefully replenish and repair here, and then move down against Baghdad and take it. Let's end the turn. Let's see what happens here, my friends. What a fight that was. My goodness me, they gave us a real showing there. France. Germany. St. John, Naples, nothing. Oh, luckily we've got them cornered there, otherwise they would be a real menace. Ottoman Empire. What's Persia going to do? Here it comes. Well, Russia, of course, has been curtailed for now at least, but they've still got very strong forces in and around the Moscow itself here, as you can see. And we are sort of cut off here in St. Petersburg. Now this ship here is free to do what it wants, and also we're being besieged there by that one. Got to be careful what this Russian ship's going to do out in the open now. think we'll have to put some more. We'll have to put another couple of fleets. I think 2 more fleets. I think will do us here. Look at they got around Kia. Wow, they're starting to rebuild here. Well, I'll be. I think. Wow. Well, I think since they're so good with the fencing skills, I think we'll go pistol. Got an even shout here at pistol. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no. What? What the? Wow.
Reverse course.
Looks like we lost. Wow. Well, that was a good duel. I haven't seen a duel for a long, long time. It looks like the Russians are starting to now too. Now here come the Persians now. What will they be up to? Esfahan is well defended as well. My goodness, Baghdad, I beg your pardon, is well defended as well. It's going to require a significant amount of investment here from our. Oh, I think we'll do this here. And looks like we've got a brand new force moving in. We'll take this fight. Oh, good grief! That's not going to be a good fight. We won't take that fight because that doesn't suit us at all. Now Spain is another. Look at that in Portugal. My goodness me, Spain is so strong. 35,000 for peace. I don't think we'll go for a peace treaty, but we're not paying you 35,000. 81,000. No, but we'll take that. No, we don't, yes, sir. We're not here to give our money away for something we don't need to do. That's fine. If they want to go on strike, that's absolutely fine. Action. Oh no. Look at the Vice President. He is oh, that's abysmal. -10. He has to go. Whew. Treasury's excellent. But army, yes, not too bad at all. Oh, 85% popularity. Wow. But we had to get rid of him here. We had to. That vice president would have been an absolute disaster. Trade is going well here. We are missing out here in Europe here first, but the meantime, look at Great Britain here. 48,000. Excellent. Right, okay, our classes. Oh, we lost a duel. Okay, we're going to deal with these next episode. We'll put these armies together next episode. Right, Croatia has seen these walls here. Actually, I think we'll invest here. Additional walls around here. And I wonder. Excellent. Oh, what? Prussia and Russia declared war upon each other. It is perfect. In other words, Germany and Russia have gone to war with each other. Now, wow. The plot thickens.
Will be done.
We're definitely going to keep a track of what's going on here with this war.
Immediately. What further service do you require?
I think we get. Wow, I did not expect that. But mind you, if Russia takes the German lands here, they will increase their capacity here. That means there'll be a direct threat to Vilnius.
Unseen, unheard.
Yeah, I've got these armies here that are hidden in these dense forests, these dense woodlands. We've got to be ready here. My goodness me, I wasn't expecting that. +1 to morale, +1 to cavalry units, excellent, +1 to land. Ah, that reminds me, we must put into place additional...
Yes, Captain. Where to, Captain?
So we've got them in there, we've got them trapped in here, but we are going to send additional forces, or we're going to send out this fleet to here to monitor what's going on. Keep the entrance here of the North Sea and the Baltic Sea under our fully under our grasp here. 125,000, look at that. We're just about, our tax income is just about paying for army upkeep here, but trade income is huge, which is absolutely fine with us. But look at the size of Spain. Spain is massive. Look at the magnitude of their forces. It's extraordinary. Got them sealed off there. But I don't like the fact that the Russians have got a fleet out in the Mediterranean here, but we set this fleet here ready to hit the trade lines here if need be. This is where most of their money comes in, from here into Cartagena. We must start producing more ships. Can't from here, but we can, gentlemen. We can from here. So that's what we're going to do. We have the money. We tend to spend it. We've got the 250,000 gold. We need to start using that to our advantage. Now our navy here can also be unleashed. We'll start putting together a little task force, I think, just to keep an eye on it, what's going on here. I think this will be the last things we do here in this particular episode. I think we got a real fight on our hands here in the Middle East. A real fight. Here they come again. Mind you, if we do break this force, we could probably move down against Baghdad, but Baghdad is very well defended. Good grief. It might even require us to move these troops from Damascus to join in together here and launch a massive assault here. Goodness only knows what's in Esfahan here.
My honor is to serve.
Bingo, look at that. They're sending more forces up to Baghdad. What a fight this will be here for Baghdad, my goodness me. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an absolute joy to get back to the USA campaign. We've got a huge amount to do here. Of course, your advice, your comments, your plans are going to be absolutely essential here, my friends, what we do. We do have enough to keep an eye on the border here with Spain, but how we can control what comes through the Alps here is going to be incredibly difficult, especially with Venice as well at war with us. If they both attack at the same time, will Munich hold out against that? I doubt it very much. To that end, I think we'll also put another army into field here as well. We've just got to here. We've also got luckily we've got these forces as well we can put into the field.
Sir. Forward! For crown
I think some more infantry here as well, because we've got this huge production centre we can put in, or production, this backbone, the spine of Europe as it were here. We can bring all this production into our grasp here. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. We've got wars, we've got fighting, we've got pockets where we're cut off entirely here, apart from we can of course withdraw through into Estonia if need be, into Riga. But my friends, I'm going to end this over here. As always, my friends, please keep your comments coming down below, your advice, your plans, your strategies. Absolutely fantastic, my friends. But as always, my friends, please stay safe whatever you're doing out there, especially these days now. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.